All right, hey everybody, we are back with hopefully the last video of the Junk Wax Hockey Draft series. Depends on how fast I get my cards back from the grading company, so we'll see. But today is the second video on grading. Today, what are we going to cover? Today we're going to show exactly how my process for evaluating cards when I'm going to send them in for grading. If you're like me and you love the Junk Wax hockey stuff, you really want to make sure that you're not sending in low grade cards, especially if you ever want to hope to sell them again. If you're hoping to resell, they've got to be gem mint, and even nines, a lot of times you'll lose money. Sometimes you break even, depending on the card. So you got to be really careful about what you send in. So I'll show you. I've gotten better. My first couple of submissions weren't great. I learned a little bit every time. Now I'm getting gem mints pretty much with most of what I send, which is great. But I'm going to show you my process for how I evaluate cards. We're going to look at some of the cards that we've pulled over the last 27 weeks of videos over all these boxes from 89.90 through 91.92, all of the different offerings. And I'm going to show you exactly which cards made the cut and which ones I'm sending off to be grading. Then hopefully at the end of the video, if the timing works out, after I make this video, I'm sending this segment of the video, I'm sending in the cards. I'll be sending them in to be graded. And by the time this episode is ready to air at the end of the series, I may or may not have gotten the cards back yet. So if I have, we'll end the video with footage at that time showing the reveal of the cards we get, of the grades we get. So hopefully we get there. If not, this will be the second of 3 videos in grading, and I'll do one more episode with the reveal of the cards. So that's it. Let's talk about let's talk about how to evaluate cards. So I pretty much put cards through 2 stages of review. As I'm going through cards, as I'm ripping packs, pulling cards out, I'm putting cards aside that to me have a shot. Like if it's something there where if it's a perfect card that I would send it in for grading, I put it aside, put it in a penny sleeve usually. A lot of times put it in a top loader as well, just to keep them safe. And then I do what I would call my first stage. And the first stage is just eyeballing it. There are some things you can tell about a card. Last week we talked about the different things that they're looking for when they grade cards, which are the corners, the surface, the edges, and the centering. Centering is by far the easiest thing to eyeball. You can tell pretty quickly if it's out. And if it's out, sorry, it's gone. It's already out of my, it doesn't make it to stage 2 of my process. So the first thing I do is I just eyeball it. Sometimes there's, even just eyeballing them, you can pick up a problem with a corner. If it's got a significant problem with the corner, or a surface issue, sometimes just eyeballing it will be enough to see it. And if so, I immediately weed it out, because the second stage is a lot more time consuming. So when it comes to stage 2, there's a couple of things I use. First off, magnification, super important for seeing those small flaws that you can't see with the naked eye. Secondly is light. And light, honestly, direct light is the most important thing when you're evaluating your cards. It'll help you pick up all kinds of things. Surface issues, corner issues, edges, you name it, it'll help you pick it up. You need a good overhead light. It doesn't have to be right over your shoulder, just a ceiling light. Just sit under a ceiling light. Excuse me. And this is going to be a little tricky because this is not my usual setup for where I do this. I do it in my office. I have a nice little kind of method to it. I'm going to try and get this on camera. I use a phone just to put the magnification up to between 4 and 5 times usually, and then I'll just kind of, with a ceiling light above, use that to kind of evaluate. It's going to be a little trickier here. I have to have one phone as my magnification camera. I have to show that under another camera, another phone, and then another camera over here. So we're going to see how it works. I have some cards set aside to show you, some that didn't make the cut, some that did, for a variety of reasons. I'm a little closer to a card here, so we'll see how this works. Let's start with looking at some corners. Now, corners are one of the first things you can find. They're one of the easiest problems to detect. This card is exaggerated corners on purpose. So let's see how this works. Yeah, okay. So I've got it magnified to up to about 3.5, which should be enough. So this is just a random base card I pulled, Jason Miller from 90 Upper Deck. And I bent the corners on purpose to show you kind of how you can use light to catch corners. So this is, let's see here. Okay, so if I flip the card around a little bit and kind of play with it, you'll see that light dot right there. when you're looking at the corners, what you got to do is you just kind of take the corner of the card and you put the light, run it out to the corner. Now this one's super exaggerated. You can see how bad that is. I did that on purpose. But when you can see that the light is picked up in the corner before the rest of the dot gets there, see how there's already a part reflecting out in the corner? You can tell there's a part of the card pointing up. And if it's dark all the way when you get to the edge, there's still a dark part, then it's pointing down. So this, I've meant this one a lot, so that's an obvious one. Let's look at this corner over here. This one's a little bit more subtle. See if I can do, man, this is tricky to do. Where's my light dot? There's my light dot. So when I run that light dot out to the corner, you'll start to see it pick up. See there, it's kind of dark, right? Where the light is on the corner, but the very corner is still dark. It's not catching the light evenly. What you want is for that light to just go straight to the corner, just like you would expect it to, with no difference in darkness or lightness catching early or late. So that's a terrible corner. This was obviously a terrible, hilariously terrible corner. But let's look at this one. This one's probably more normal. I didn't touch this one. This is right out of a pack, so it should be pretty good. Let's see. Oh, my camera ended. All right, we'll put that back up. Put that up to about 3.5 times again. Tricky to do. Okay, so there's my light. I'm going to run it down to the corner. Where's my corner? And see how the light... Oh, see, there is a little bit of a problem on that bottom corner. I wouldn't have known that just by looking at it, but... See how the bottom corner isn't lighting up like the rest? It should. That means there's a little problem. Let's check this one. I don't even know if I can with this setup here, but there we go. Find my light dot. Where's my light dot? There it is. Find my corner. There it is. Run the light dot to the corner. Yeah, so that one's nice. See how the light goes right to the corner just like you would expect? It's not hitting the corner early. Nothing's staying dark. That's a nice corner right there. So this card has 1 out of 3 corners that are decent. Thank you, Jason Miller, for your service. And that's one of the benefits of the light. Now, we'll look at surface as well, but that's one of the main reasons you need a light, because there are some times where a card just looks perfect from to the naked eye, but you put that light on it and it really makes a difference. Centering, magnification, it can help with centering, but not much. Like, honestly, it's not much better than just eyeballing it. There are tools you can buy to put on the card, and if you have a card like an upper deck card, like these ones that have like the defined borders, those tools can work. I've never used one. I've always just eyeballed it. You get pretty good at it over time. You can tell top and bottom, front and side to side if it's off center or not. The companies say in their grading standards that they are more forgiving on the back. Like if the front is perfect, they allow, like, I don't remember, 75-25 or something on the back, which is interesting. I don't know that that's true, though, because I feel like I've been dinged for having the back not be quite as centered as the front. So I'm not sure if that's true. That's what they say. But yeah, having a setup with some magnification of light maybe doesn't help with the centering so much, but it really helps with the corners and especially the surface and the edges. So let's look at a few examples. We looked at the Miller for the corners. Next card up, we're going to look at this 1990 Score Martin Brodeur card, rookie card. The reason I want to show this one, Score cards in particular, have a very soft card stock. And often, you don't often get problems with this, with the surface. You don't often get problems. Centering sometimes is pretty good. Edges are usually good, but the corners often are not great. Because they're kind of a soft card, and sometimes there is surface problems with like little indentations. So let's see if I have my camera, if this is going to work here. So here's a Martin Brodeur card. It looks great to the naked eye. Let's just show it to the naked eye here first. Looks pretty good. It's a little off-centered top to the bottom and a little bit thick on the right versus the left. That would be enough to me to not send this card. But really what I wanted to show you here is corners. So let's get the magnification going. Let's find our light dot and let's have a look at the corners. So here's one. That one looks pretty good. See? The light dot goes right to the corner just like I would expect it to. I don't see it lighting up early. I don't see it staying dark late. These cameras only stay on. I got to change the settings. Well, whatever. Takes 2 seconds. All right, what are we doing? 3.5? Normally I do this up in my office and I'll use about 4.5 and I'll have it closer to my face, but for the sake of the video, this seems to be working. So here's the other corner. Let's check this one. Where's my light dot? There's my light dot. Now we're going to run it to the corner. Okay, see how it's dark on the corner right now? And the light should be there, but the corner is staying dark. That's indicating that it's pointing away from us a little bit. So it's pointing down. If it was lighting up early, if I had the dot here and it was already reflecting, it would be pointing up. But because it's like that, it's pointing down. So let's check this corner down here. Find my light dot. There's my light dot. Check that. A little bit of the same thing. See how the corner stays a little dark? It's not lighting up all the way. Same thing, it's pointing down. So now when you take it away and you kind of look just at the card itself, you can kind of see it if you get the light kind of flash on it nice. Oh, there was one. Yeah, see that a little bit? That top corner right up in here? See how the light is kind of reflecting on the corner differently because it's pointing down. So these scorecards often have that soft corner, something you got to watch out for. So that's one for corners you can watch out for. What's next? Next one, we're going to show a 1990 O-Pee-Chee Fedorov Central Red Army card. And here, we're going to check this card. If you just look at it like this, it is a beautiful looking card. Perfectly centered pretty much. Yeah, it's really nice. The corners, perfect. The centering, perfect. The back looks great. There's a little bit of speckling, but they let that go on the 90 cards because all of them pretty much have it. Centering on the back, perfect. When I first pulled this out of the pack, I was super excited about it. So let's see why I would not send this in. So this is an example of a surface problem, and there's actually two. One of them is a bit of almost like a puncture. And you can actually even see it here on camera with magnification, right dead center. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong screen. Dead center of the screen there. That's not a mark on the card like in the picture. That's an actual almost like, it almost looks like a thumbtack puncture or a pen or a pencil or something. And when you put the light on it, it's really obvious. So that's a serious surface flaw. That one would kill the grade on this one. So I would never send it in just for that. I think you can even see it on the back. Actually, no, oh yeah, you can feel it. Where is it? It's, okay, so on the back, it's just, where did I feel that? Just underneath the O and the C. There it is. You can kind of see that. Oh, it's kind of hard with the centering, but right in there. Whoop, there it is right there. So that puncture is pretty bad. Now you maybe would be confused and maybe it would look like it's just something on the ice in the picture, but that's why you got to use light. Because once you get light on it, it really shows up. The second thing on this card, check this out. It has some kind of a scratch across the top. Starts there, goes all the way across. See it there? And especially on this side. See it there? Really bad on this side. See those? Now, if you're not just looking at it like this, you don't see it. It looks perfect. But as soon as you put that magnification on it, and I have to redo my camera here again, it comes out with a little bit of light and a little bit of magnification. You see it really clear. So that's clearly not one that I would send. So that's one for a surface issue you gotta watch. Here's another example of a surface issue. This is, see if I can get the card out. This is a 1991 Bowman hat-trick insert of Gretzky. Or sorry, team scoring leader insert. So we'll just put it here on normal camera first. And again, I was pretty excited. I looked at this card, I was like, oh, maybe it's a little off-center top to the bottom. But the sides look great. The corners look beautiful. It's a very nice-looking card. The back looks beautiful. It's, again, there's that one off-center a little bit from the top to the bottom, which is now this side to the other side. But it's a beautiful card. And since it's Gretzky, I would consider sending that. But then you get out the magnification, you get out the light. Corners look good. Corners look great. No problems there. And you kind of get pretty quick with this as you figure it out. But check this out. Whoa, man, this is hard to do. Where's the light? I got a couple of different lights in here. What's the best way to find this? Where is it? So it's even hard to see on the camera, but there is a scratch line or a roller line all the way across the card, right on that dot. I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but you can it's almost like a perforated line that goes all the way around. Actually, I bet you this one I might be able to show better without the camera if I just catch the light on it. Not great. You can kind of see it starts between my thumbs. There's a line. Can you kind of see that? As I kind of run the light kind of sort of over it. All right, well, this one's not a great example. You can't see it very well. But there's a line. It almost looks like an imprint from the wrapper of the pack, maybe. I'm not sure. But for that reason alone, this one probably is not going to grade well, and I would not send it in. That's an immediate rejection for me. Like I said, for me, it's got to be pretty much a gem mint if I'm going to send it. Now, here's a version of a surface issue that's a lot more subtle. This one, I almost wouldn't have caught. So this is an Ed Belfour rookie, and actually, this is, I think this is a, is this, yeah, this is an Ed Belfour rookie card, but also a comic ball hologram, which is kind of fun. You don't see those a lot, and the card looks really nice. Like, the corners look great, the edges all look great, centering's pretty great. This side's just a touch thicker, I think, than this side. But on the back, it looks really nice. Yeah, it's a little thicker on the bottom, maybe. But here, let me show you what I found on this one. So the front looked great. When I put it on the back, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, right there, dead center. See that little scratch? Oh, you can't because I'm not even in frame. Look at that. Right there. Scratch on the card. And it's almost unseeable with the naked eye. Like, when I put the card up here, you don't see that at all. It looks beautiful. The card looks great. There, I can kind of see it. But once you put the magnification on it and you put that light on it, bam, it shows up right away. So that's one I would probably get dinged pretty good for. Enough that I would probably not, that I would not send this card in. So that's a little bit more of a subtle one to watch out for. But you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. All right, let's see what else we got. What's next? Some Pro Set cards. Now, Pro Set always has problems with their edges. It's kind of almost like an enamel. Their cards, it's interesting. So this is a perfectly stereotypical Pro Set card. This is a Mike Richter rookie card from Pro Set Series 2. And you can almost see it on just with the eye if I put it up to the camera. But the edging up here, you'll see it, some white kind of flaking. Yeah, you can't really see it. Let's do this. Let's do this. Whoa, 8 times. No. 3.5-ish for now. All right, let's put this over here. And let's get this card here. So there. You see that kind of white flecking on the edge up at the top there? See if I can get a better angle. It doesn't look like much. It almost looks worse to my eye before I put it under magnification. But there's some definite chipping there on that white border. And it goes, there's chipping all the way around. Not so bad on the sides, and some of the cards even have like the white bottom, so it's really kind of hard to see it on the bottom. It hides it really well, but that top border, you almost always see kind of a chipping edge, and a lot, yeah, there we go. That's maybe a better view. And when you run your fingers along it, you feel it. So that's what you got to watch out for those Pro Set cards. So that's probably the most common edging issue you'll see, is just kind of that kind of almost like chipping. Parker's cards have them, Pro Set cards have them, Pro Set Platinum has them. Not sure many of the other ones do. Here, this one's also probably obvious, but for a different way. This is a Gretzky. Is this no, the standard hologram. Gretzky Upper Deck. So here, let's look at it without. It looks great. It looks beautiful. It's wonderful. When you put the magnification on it, though, and you look at that right edge, see how frayed that is? I would call that, there's chipping and there's fraying. That's my term. I don't, it's not an industry term. But you can kind of see it's almost frayed a little bit just on that right side. All the other edges are great. They're no problem at all. But this right side is pretty bad. I need a better focus here. Let me see if I can get it on the center. And then put it down. Not really. There you go. You can see that. Yeah, that's rough. So that's not going to get a good grade. So that's an edging issue for sure. And then here's a third version. This is another Pro Set card. This is Curtis Joseph's rookie card from Pro Set Series 2. Get my camera back up to 3.5. Now this one is kind of a combination of edging and ink. So let's get this one under magnification and look way at the bottom, if I remember. Yeah. So you can actually see it's edging, but the edging, instead of flecking white, it's blue. It's almost like the ink kind of stained the bottom a little bit. And then you can see right on top of the S is an ink dot. So both of those are enough that would ding the surface grade for sure. I would say this is probably a surface like 8, and I haven't even looked at the rest of the card yet. See the top. Top's not bad. Oh, there's a little spot there, a white spot. I don't know what that is. Might wipe off. Let me see. Did it wipe off? No. So that's part of the card too. So this one has a pretty bad surface score. So even without even looking at the corners, the centering, I would never send this one in. But that's another centering issue, or sorry, surface issue you can look for. And then what is one last card? I wanted to show you one last card. This is a Matt Sundin rookie card from Upper Deck. And the challenge with this one was a little bit more subtle. It's also with the edges. If you look at it, it looks beautiful. It looks centered. The corners look super sharp. I mean, it's straight out of a pack. Actually, I didn't even notice because I got this one out immediately, but look, there's scratches on it. I didn't even see those at first because I immediately weeded this one out because of the edge issue. But there's also, it's kind of hard to catch on camera, some vertical, almost like print. Oh, there you can kind of see it a little bit on the right, going up and down. Anyway, that's kind of an aside. The real issue on this one was when I have my, I'll kind of play the light over top of the surface, just looking for issues. Ugh, stupid camera. Sorry, I should have changed the settings of the camera before we did this. But I never used this phone, so there you go. But on this one, see right there. So see, I have the light over in the center, but it's already hitting the edge. It's already being picked up on that edge, just in one little spot there. So it's kind of like a corner ding, but it's on the edge. So right there, right on the card, that there's a little part of the edge. The corner is actually a little not great either. You can kind of see it reflecting early too. But that edge right there, you can see it's kind of like a little ding on the edge. So that one's a little bit more subtle, but I also wouldn't send. So there you go. There's a bunch of examples of cards that I've caught that I won't be sending in, and you have to be strict because any of those you send in, none of those would have been a gem mint. Max, the best one, I think probably would have been the Belfour with the little mark on the back. Probably might have been a 9, maybe, but good chance it's an 8.5. So those ones definitely not sending. Let's have a quick look at a few that I am sending, just so that you can see some really good examples here. So these are part of the group that I'm going to send in. I'm going to show you this card. I didn't want to send this one in because I don't know if there's a lot of value. It's not a rookie card, but it's just so nice. I think I have to. So I'm going to send this one in. This is a 1991-92 Bowman Yager second year card, but it just looks so nice. The centering is beautiful. The surface is beautiful. Oh yeah, this is actually a better way to look at surface than on the magnification. This is about what I would do, except that I magnify it and look at it further away from my face. This card is beautiful. The corners are great. Let's look at the back. The back is bright and beautiful. There's one tiny spot that I found on this card, and it's enough that I cannot believe they would not give me a gem mint on this card. I'm going to put the camera on it, and we'll see if you can spot it real quick. It's on the back. The front is beautiful. Here, let me show you the front corners here real quick. I mean, they're perfect. It's very nice. Beautiful card. Just beautiful. So let's flip it over. See if you can kind of find the issue. Probably you can see it. Under magnification, it comes up pretty quick, but there's that white dot right there under the R. That is the only problem I have found with this card. I think that I will still get a Gem Mint 9.5 on this if I send it to Beckett, because it is a beautiful card. So I'm going to send this one in. I'm going to send it in. Normally what I would do when I find one that I would send in, I'm not going to do it today, But I would take my microfiber cloth, believe it or not, I would actually give the edge, I would not touch the corner, but just below the corner, and give it just a little wipe down the edges, all 4 edges. I would do all 4 edges, just to clean up any kind of loose strands that might look like a surface issue, even though it's not. Then I would put the card down and actually give it one little wipe. Make sure your microfiber cloth, if you have one, is super clean. I would give it a wipe just to make sure there's no fingerprints on it or anything. I'd give it a wipe on the back, and then I'd put it back in here and get it back in the top loader, get it ready to go. So that's one I'm going to send for sure. I didn't find any of those issues with it. I'll show you a couple more quick. Let's see. I'll show you this one. This is a Nicholas Lidstrom Young Guns from 91-92 Upper Deck High Series. Let's have a quick look at that one. Again, this passed all my tests. You can see it's pretty nicely centered. It is maybe just slightly off, thicker on the left than the right. Just slightly. But it's enough, it's close enough that I think I will take the chance and send it in. The back borders look perfect, which is nice. Looks really nice. I didn't find any surface issues with this card. I didn't find any corner issues with this card. So this is one I'm going to send in as part of the group. It's a beautiful card. Hoping for a gem mint. It's possible with the slightly off-center they might give me a 9. But I think that's a legit gem mint, so I think they'll give it to me. We'll see. Last but not least, I'm just going to show you these two. So 89-90 tops, I pulled 3 Joe Sakic rookie cards. I'm going to send these two in. They're both beautiful cards. Honestly, like if you know about this card, it's super hard to get into a gem mint grade. When you look at the back of these cards, this one, I guess I could take, well, I'm not going to take them out of the cases. This one, I think you can see it, has a little dot right there. Just a discoloration. It's not an indent or anything, it's just a little spot of color. That's probably enough with the fact that it is just slightly off-center bottom to the top. This is probably a 9. That's my guess. But this one is beautiful. Just beautiful. And there are not a lot of gem mints of this card. I think I have one. I think this is a gem mint version. I didn't see any surface issues with it. I didn't see any corner issues with it. The edges look great. Everything looks great. The centering on the back is perfect. This is a beautiful card. So I'm really hoping for a gem mint on that one. So that's 4 I wanted to show you, just to show you kind of cards that have passed. And that, friends, unfortunately, is the end of the video this week. I did get a notification that the cards have been graded, but they haven't shipped yet, so I don't know the grades. So tune in next week, hopefully next week, for the final reveal of the grade results for the Junk Wax Hockey Draft. All the cards we sent in, over all 27 boxes of cards. Should be a good time. Looking forward to it a lot. So join me next week. If they still haven't gotten back by next week, I'll do a special video where I opened a box of 1984 tops this last year. I'll make a video out of that, and you know, that'll be that'll be the placeholder while we wait for those graded cards to get back. Right when I sent them into Beckett, it said 40 business days, and when they got there, they had just switched the service standard to 75 business days. I was pretty furious. So it took a lot longer than expected. So we'll see next week. Hopefully we get those cards graded and back, and we will see you guys next week.